There are just not enough hours in the day to make a perfect lesson plan for every minute of every day. But do you really have to plan something different for every day of the week? Maybe not, and that may not be such a bad thing. We have all been there. You have the perfect plan for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but then you get stuck for what to do on Thursday and Friday. Not only is it hard to come up with a new idea every day, but it can also be incredibly time-consuming. Think about incorporating some repetition into your weekly lesson plans. Research, using the kids show Blue's Clues, has been done proving that it takes about 5 different exposures to the content before a child starts to fully understand it at a deep enough level to make it their own. That is why when I develop my literacy units, I am assuming it will be used over the course of about 5 days. There is enough repetition for the kids to gain a deeper understanding while having enough variation to still keep them engaged. Remember, my products are made for students who have fairly significant disabilities. This repetition is even more critical for this group of kids. Let's look at a literacy unit, for example. This unit covers the story If You Take a Mouse to School by Laura Numeroff. On day 1, I plan to read the story and make sure the students have access to the storyboard. On this first day, I figure the kids are just learning about what is on the board. They are not really able to use it effectively yet. Along with reading the story on day 1 and introducing the storyboard, I usually do the circle map activity. This is a simple cut and paste activity that repeats many of the symbols found on the storyboard. Day 2 starts with another reading of the story using the same storyboard. Depending on how the students did with the circle map yesterday, I may choose to do this activity again or introduce the associations cut and paste activity. Day 3, we read again using the same storyboard. On day 3, I like to play a game of bingo using the storyboards. It's easy to do by making an extra copy and cutting it apart to make calling cards. Yes, I know all the students essentially have the same bingo card, but that's okay. No worries, lots of winners and lots of good practice with the elements from the story. On day 3, I also incorporate another activity into the lesson. The counting and coloring booklet is a good one to use with this story. Day 4, you guessed it, I read the story again with the storyboard. I like to incorporate another activity related to the story. In this case, I would use the preposition book, Where is the Mouse? Finally, on day 5, I read the story one last time. At this point, students should be easily following along and using their storyboards to readily answer your questions and stay engaged with the story. As a final assessment, I would go back and use either the association activity or the circle map to assess if the students were able to identify key elements in the story. Of course, this literacy unit contains some extra goodies as well, like a social story and some no prep worksheets. These are great to incorporate into other parts of your day while maintaining some consistency with your book if you take a mouse to school. If you would like to see more examples of literacy units and how they can be incorporated in your classroom, visit my store, Special Needs for Special Kids, at teacherspayteachers.com. I currently have over 20 literacy units available, as well as a free how-to video on how to effectively use storyboards in your lesson. You'll be amazed at how allowing yourself to repeat the content and activities with some variation will not only help your students, but decrease your stress level as well.